power down well, and if not perhaps as spectacular, the Renault's still quick. 15 is the Mitsubishi Lancia of Pascal Smets. Very much on a roll at the moment, Mitsubishi in rallying. Determined to go well. And with a tie for times on stage 1, stage 2 showing every chance of a further battle. Still Snijers, the man leading the way, but piling on the pressure behind the Chirikas. Renault Verreydt charging up here. The first through of the two. Fifth fastest, ahead of Duez. And this is Markku Alen, who matched times, in fact, on the first stage of the rally with Patrick Snijers. Encouragement from the spectators. Through goes number 7. Redoubtable Marc Duez. Duez too, up to 4th place after the first stage. A man as happy on a circuit as on a rally. And here's the Renault, really still showing the way home, and very impressive indeed on its debut. An impressive show too from the Mitsubishi. Rounding or not, certainly determined to stay up among the top half dozen. Subaru also going well, holding on to 3rd place. Lietaer proving that he's got what it takes to get in among the top boys. And surprisingly enough, Marc with a little Lancia also proving that although this car is now somewhat out of date, it's still competitive. 6th place, the reward from him after the first stage. But still a lot of work to do for all the drivers in the Boucles d'Espagne. Diego. As we look back again at the leader of the rally, now putting home his advantage away from the opposition. And no question about it that Patrick Snijers has got the legs here of the Toyotas behind. Dropping the odd second or so in spite of every effort. Markku Alen having to give best, and this is the Subaru, still very much on the pace. Lietaer with the Impreza showing what a good rally car this is. That beat of that flat 6 engine can't be mistaken anywhere. Second of the Works Toyotas, Renault Verreydt. The drivers reveling in these wet conditions, except for one, and this the very unhappy Lancia, Dominic Brunel, with the car really not on top. Tending to misfire, not running well low down. Marc Duez. Showing his knowledge of the Spa circuit and putting it to good effect here. But again, not getting down perhaps just when he wanted to in that lower gear and losing a bit of time, accelerating away here through the car park section. Nevertheless, an effective performance by the Belgian, and an effective performance too by the new Renault, the Maxi, going extremely well, like the proverbial clock, sounding and looking superb. And quite putting to shame the Opel opposition. Verreydt, almost a pedestrian pace in comparison with that of the new Renault. Using every inch of the road and the grass as well in an effort to keep up. The Mitsubishi, still Pascal Smets going well. The Lancia leading Group N, but obviously not on pace with the leading trio. And a big car to throw through some of these tight gaps. Service and the addition of lights very necessary as they come on towards the night sections of what's proving to be an extremely tough rally indeed. During the night, the gearbox begins to wilt on the Ford. Briefly, he loses the lead. But with a new gearbox aboard, he's able to make up time. The new leader was briefly Markku Alen, reveling in perhaps a chance to show what he could do. Everyone thought he could win here. Unfortunately, he ran out of road. The second of the Toyotas too, proving to be quite an effective tool. Verreydt still maintaining his pace and still at this present time ahead of Marc Duez. And the Renault sounding just as sweet as ever. Lancia falling back a little. Mark Timmers finding difficulty in these conditions. Group N still the same. Pascal Smets. While the Opel of Verreydt still trying to catch that Renault. Time to talk to the leaders.
Patrick, Alen took the lead yesterday evening, but you put the pressure back, I suppose.
I took the lead because I had a small problem with the car. My gearbox was broken and I had not the 6 and 7 speed, so I lost a lot of time. And after it was repaired, we could take back the lead because Markku, between that, he made a small mistake. He rolled the car. And then for me everything went okay. My car is now perfect and we can go flat out.
Autograph time for Markku Alen. That precarious lead fell away during the night. He tells us why.
No pressure. You know, that's accident is coming only my mistake. You know, I coming too fast and aquaplane and that's my fault. But not in pressure, you know, in pressure is like driving all the time. What is feeling, but that's really my mistake.
Do you think it's possible to come back now?
Well, I really try, and still very, very long day, and we will see. I have a little bit problem yesterday in some states my socks over, and I changed, you know, in new socks, and car is, I feel now car is a little bit better, and I hope it's coming good day. Both two Toyotas, Renault and me.
Patrick Snijers starts the day then, with a lot of work ahead of him, but knowing that he's got the advantage of being there in the lead. And hurls it round to considerable effect. Behind, the second of the Toyotas also has damage. Renault Verreydt has also damaged his car quite seriously. Marc Duez away, scenting perhaps that he could finish higher than fourth. And the Lancia going well. Surprisingly, still very competitive. Leading Group N and looking as if it'll stay there is the Mitsubishi. Pascal Smets has put in a fine drive. Better damage repair or control perhaps on Markku Alen's car as he sets out to try and close that gap. While the Renault sounds as healthy as ever. Behind, the Opel is finding life difficult, locking wheels and throwing the car around with considerable abandon. But Verreydt has a lot of work to do. The new Renault looks uncatchable. The Subaru seems to have recovered from its problems of the night before. It now sounds fully healthy and is holding on to a fine third place. Poor Lietaer showing that he can handle the car exceptionally well in these conditions. At service, more work on the Toyotas. Verreydt's car seems to have sustained even more damage, while the Opel 2 is not getting away lightly and needs considerable work to get it back into the event. The weather is threatening, but it's still dry underfoot, and the power on the leading Escort is getting down well. Encouragement from spectators as Patrick Snijers heads off towards victory, leaving a cloud of mud on the road for the opposition behind. And that opposition currently sees the second of the Toyotas coming through first, with that damage now seemingly causing less trouble. Certainly looking quicker on this section of the stage. Duez, frightening the spectators a little, is very effective through here. Right on the ragged edge and over it. Still Group N in safe hands. Pascal Smets hanging on in well. And Verreydt now with the Vauxhall seemingly recovering after its service, back on pace but not catching the Renault. Still with the grille flapping. Number 50 in and among that collection of Citroëns is going well. Francis Leroy. Xavier Hazul, too, proving that the car will stand the pace. The Citroëns battling among themselves. Jean-Luc Legrand. And a car from the past, the M3 BMW, number 73. Port Renault. All sideways and tied up in a bunch there, losing some time, was the Peugeot of Jean-Pierre Van der Voort. As the leader rushes on. Now it's clear that short of an incident of some sort, Patrick Snijers has this rally wrapped up. That's to say, it's clear to everybody except his dearest pursuer. And here's a man who never gives up, Markku Alen right on the limit. While Renaud Verreydt is almost over it in the second of the Toyotas. Duez wants that place, but I don't think he can get it. And for once, a scar of battle for the neat little Renault. But it's one that it can bear with honour as he rushes on towards a win in his class. That was nearly the end of the Group N leader, but he collected it back together and carried on with the job. It would have been a shame to spoil such a good rally for Pascal Smets. Night falls on the final stages. The Subaru accelerates away, and Markku Alen here